What is going on, Nerd Paraders and fellow Fix-It employees? Welcome to our factory, and welcome to the channel. Thank you so much for coming to hang here with me today as we play some Satisfactory and showcase our insane builds, talk about why we built them the certain way, and maybe give you some cool tips for your own factory along the way. Introductions are in order. I am Nick, this is Nerd Parade. Welcome once again, and thank you very much for coming to hang with me. So our factory here is currently in update 4 of Satisfactory. We're in the experimental version because it just launched a couple of weeks ago. And we're going to be talking about, like I mentioned, why we built the way that we built, how we did it, and where you can see us do it live, which is on twitch.tv/nerdparade. If you like Satisfactory and you want to come see our crazy builds in progress, drop over to twitch.tv/nerdparade and drop a follow. Anyway, so we're here at one of our factories in Satisfactory, and this video is going to assume that you kind of already know what Satisfactory is. If you don't, quick rundown: Satisfactory, cool game, build factories, lots of fun. Moving on. So here we are in Satisfactory at one of our factories, and you may notice right away, like, holy crap, why are these people in the sky? Simple, we're sky people. Also, there's no such thing as terraforming in Satisfactory. So since that is a mild annoyance for some of our purposes, we have literally risen above and built all of our factory in the sky. We're sky people. We also like to roleplay a little bit and pretend that these little nodes, and let me drop down here, the lights from the electrical outlets, we like to pretend that they're little anti-gravity devices that keep our factory afloat in the sky. We are currently at one of my most recent and favorite factories. This is a metal / iron, I guess technically. This is an iron tier factory which produces all of our iron related stuffs. What I'm going to do here is show you on the map where it's at and tell you why we built here. So we're over here all the way in the corner of the map. Let's zoom out so you can kind of see the whole thing. We're over here all the way in the corner. And the reason why we're here in this spot is because there are 3 pure iron nodes right here in this general vicinity, and we're tapping all of them using water to power refineries, and we're carting it all the way up into the sky. Why? As I mentioned, you can't terraform in Satisfactory, so we've risen above it, and the way we build here within the Nerd Parade community and on the Nerd Parade channel is extremely OCD friendly and aesthetically pleasing. It's something that I'm really, really proud of. And a little backstory on me: I have some mild gaming and building OCD. I will literally tear down and rebuild something 100 times. Some of you who've maybe watched on Twitch have seen me do this if it doesn't line up and look good. It drives me bonkers. I can't help it. I'm compelled to do it. And I'm okay with it because ultimately our factories look freaking awesome. And maybe this video can give you an idea of something really, really cool to do with your own factory, because I love to try to spark creativity within those around me and my fellow Fix-It employees. I'm going for Employee of the Month, so let's keep that on down low. Any hoozles. So, like I mentioned, we're here at one of our factories. We've got the open air concept going. One of my favorite designs here with this, and a new addition into Update 4, is something as simple as the lights. My God, the lights are so nice because it is the defeat of the darkness that Satisfactory has plagued us with for so long. This factory is a little grandiose, and you may be noticing already that there's a little bit of chop in this video by looking at the factory. Yeah, we build big, but build big or go home, I'd like to say. So we built this bottom floor here. This is where we're finding our ingots, and we tried to line everything up absolutely perfectly, and well, as close to perfect as possible. Like I mentioned, we have our water extractors, boop, 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 running the pipes all the way up, boop, 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 boop. And we have the pipes running down, kind of fueling everything, and each tier, this is something I'm kind of proud of, each tier goes a little bit lower. So first pipe, boom, then the second pipe, boom, and then the third pipe, boom, like it kind of like tiers down. Just an OCD nice friendly thing that I like to do. As we kind of progress forward and go up, we are utilizing one of Satisfactory's ultimate secrets. And this is something that I like to compare to what I believe is Satisfactory's predecessor, Factorio. So Factorio is a 2D factory building game. Satisfactory is a 3D factory building game. We're utilizing that third dimension, and instead of building flat in a two-dimensional world, we're building vertically and up and utilizing space as best as we possibly can. And all the while trying to make things line up and look freaking amazing. So On this floor, we are manufacturing iron plates, rods, screws, and reinforced plates. I know we're getting a little bit of the stutter. It's because we got a lot going on here. But we're going to talk about most of it, as much as I can in this relatively short video, and hopefully spark some creative ideas for you. Now, here's the tricky part with what we did. So as you can see, we have 6 full, these belts are full. So you're going to have to do some math in Satisfactory. I know nobody said that we had to do math in playing video games. Well, that's how Coffee Stain gets you. Mark V belts can move 780 items per minute. Currently, each of these belts are being supplied with 750 ingots per minute, which then subsequently supply all of our chains of constructors. And the constructors have been configured to output a maximum belt's worth of an item. So again, 780 is our key. What I mean by this, and I'll make it a little bit easier, we'll visualize it. If we mouse over conveyor lift Mark V or conveyor belt Mark V, it tells you here on the right hand side, transports up to 780 resources per minute. You want to maximize your belts without going over its capacity to achieve efficiency. And we're all about efficiency here in our factory. So, as I mentioned, this is a metal/iron dedicated factory, which is producing everything that we need from those 3 pure iron nodes, and we've tried to make it as absolutely OCD perfect, aesthetically pleasing as possible. And I think we have come as close, or flown as close to the sun with our wax wings as possible, without burning up and then crashing to the ground. Icarus reference. The reason why I'm so proud of this is because we take something seemingly uneven and we take it and convert it into something even and pretty damn symmetrical. Enough symmetry, in fact, to prevent me from getting irritated as the way that it's built and feeling like I don't need to build it over 100,000 times. So, I'm very proud of this build. Very, very proud, in fact. And this is the first debut factory that we're going to be showing off here for our Update 4 series on Satisfactory. We have more factories off in the distance, as you can see. Don't worry, they'll be covered in future video shorts. Or, as I mentioned earlier in this video, if you'd like to see us build everything live, twitch.tv/nerdparade is going to be your thing, and come and hang with us whenever we do Satisfactory Day. What we have here is 7 output belts of the resources that I had aforementioned. So we've got screws, which you can see on there being pumped up, 3 belts of screws, 4 belts of screws. We have rods, we have reinforced plates, and we have iron plates. These are all being pumped upwards, again, using that 3-dimensional technology with some really cool placed belts and lifts a bit higher to our airport, or at least one of our airports. This is drone technology. Now, this has been added in Update 4, and it's something that we have centralized our factory around. Trains are awesome, but the way of the train is kind of no more in Update 4. I'm not meaning to rhyme, it's just happening all the time. I've done this twice in the video now. Trains are the way of the past. Drones are the way of the future. They are amazing, and they're so super cool, so we're building our entire factory with drone-related transport network. You don't have to use this if you don't want to. You can still use trains and be perfectly fine with it. And you can have a train station built into the sky, like a sky monorail that's carting your resources back to a centralized hub. Also, as we digress on this factory a little bit, that is what I recommend to you to do. When we play Satisfactory, we usually get questions like, where's the best place to build a main base? Well, you shouldn't really necessarily have a main base that's the only place that you operate. The way that I have found the most enjoyable is to build small factories that take your resources back to a centralized hub, not necessarily try to make one factory the centralized and only point where you do something in the world. Cover the map. It's huge for a reason. So these resources are carted back to our centralized nexus, as I like to refer to it as. We're building it over here. And that'll be covered in another video as well, because it's 1, not complete, and 2, something really super awesome. In fact, if you can believe it, more awesome than this factory. Now, as we come over here, and I mentioned slightly earlier, I also built that wrong. We're coming over here to one of my favorite structures that I mentioned earlier in the video. That was called foreshadowing. This is what I like to refer to as the air traffic control tower. This thing provides so much light that it's almost obnoxious and blinding to us, but there's no such thing as overkill in the Nerd Parade vocabulary, and we like lights. So what I've done is I've put down a 8x2 foundation here, mounted the 4 floodlights. We have a Mark III outlet, and the power is being run from our gravity assisting outlets at the bottom all the way up through the floor, bink, 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 and powering the lights. And then once we kind of get up here to the top, we'll just do it with a pillar top and seal her off. So you don't see the wires. It's not an ugly looking structure with spaghetti wires hanging around everywhere. You have copious amounts of light. It kind of looks like an air traffic control tower, and it provides you all the light you could possibly need. And we've got these in every single corner at the top of all of our factories. It's one of the uniform structures that we're making everywhere. And all of the pillar heights have been mirrored across all of our factories. So if it's a factory related floor, and this is getting in really micromanagey stuff, but this is how I roll when it comes to building video games, which I just shortened into video games. That's building video games, in case you're curious on how my mind works. I've made sure that every one of our factories follows the basic blueprint of 10 pillar middles for a floor, and then 7, once we get to the top, 7 pillar middles that function as our lighting / air traffic control towers, which then also has our drones on top. It's not an air traffic control tower without air traffic. You feel me? So enough gushing about my favorite lighting structures and how cool they are, and one of my favorite additions into Update 4, we're going to talk about the actual factory and why we started with our Iron Tier metal factory. So, on this floor, we are currently making use of the 3 pure iron nodes at our location below us, which we showed earlier in the video, turning them into ingots on this floor, moving them upward, 6 almost maxed out belts, as I mentioned, 750 ingots per minute times 6, moving into all these constructors, and we are creating 3 crucial resources. I had to write this down because the game has a lot of math in it, and currently we're making 1,500 plates, 6,000 screws, and 750 rods per minute. That's a ton. That's an absolute ton. Now, with that, not all of these resources are being just taken back to our main hub Nexus for storage purposes. Right here in our assemblators, we are assemblators, we are crafting reinforced iron plates, and every machine here is overclocked so that we can save on space. Yes, it's a big power drain. However, in one of our future episodes coming your way, we'll talk to you about this facility over here and how we have unlimited power. Basically, we built a surge protector, plugged it into itself, and got unlimited power that way. Any hoozles, I digress. We're going here into our assemblator. I gotta stop saying that. Assemblatator. We're currently looking at 37.5 reinforced iron plates per minute. So what we're gonna do here is I'm gonna bring out my handy dandy calculator. We're going to take 37.5 times 4 because I can't do math in my head, and we are producing 150 reinforced iron plates per minute with the resources that we're already generating here at the factory. How much resources are we consuming in order to do this? And it's a decent chunk of what we're making. So at 225 per minute times 4, 225, let's just use my numpad, times 4, 900. So that leaves us with an excess of 600 iron plates per minute going back to the Nexus. Out of the 1,500 that we're crafting, we're consuming 900 and storing 600 every single minute. With screws, we're crafting 6,000 per minute. So with 625 times 4, 2,500 of the 6,000 every minute are being turned into reinforced iron plates. And then the excess, which, what is that? 3,500? Yes, that's 3,500. The excess 3,500 is going back into our storage at our main hub Nexus. Let's get away from our handy dandy calculator, which is saving our lives. And this is it. This is the iron factory. This is maximizing 3 pure iron nodes below us. Again, I'll show it to you here on the map. This area has 3 pure iron nodes below us. We have built to the sky, so we're carting the raw iron up, refining it, and then creating masterpieces with it. This isn't the only thing that iron is used for in the game. However, this is a big chunk of the resources. We are going to build other factories like I recommended earlier You build little mini factories for each thing and then take it back to a centralized hub for storage or much more complex crafting. If it's a simple craft, my advice and my personal strategy is to always craft it on site and then move it back for more complex crafting. So at our centralized hub / our nexus, we can do the 4+ item recipes crafted there on site where all of our storage is at, and that way we don't have to move resource A and resource B from all the way over from Egypt, all the way over from Africa, and meeting somewhere in the middle. That's the way I like to organize our Satisfactory world. So let me know what you think of our factory in the comments below. I tend to enjoy the more open air factory design, for pollution reasons. We gotta make Captain Planet proud. If you prefer a more encased factory where you can't necessarily see things and blocked off, let me know what you think. It might improve frame rate, because having all these belts and all these things kind of being animated behind the scenes may be impacting our frame rate a bit, and you might have noticed some stutter in the video as a result of that. However, I enjoy the open air concept, and I like to look at the lights from far distances and glance over what we've created. Also, tag the thumbs up button if this video gave you any type of ideas for your factory, and subscribe to the channel for more cool videos coming your way, as well as following us on twitch.tv/nerdparade to watch us build live and create and do crazy things. Well, this nerd is headed off for now. Take care of yourselves, stay awesome, and come and hang with me real soon. Later.